This video is going to demonstrate how to do elevation drawings. So to do your elevation drawings, you're going to need your floor plans. You'll want your second and your first floor plans. You'll need a blank sheet of graph paper. You'll also need your straight edge, a white eraser, and obviously your pencil. So to start your elevation drawing, you're first going to just pick a side. I'm just going to pick the side that's facing me. So I already did this. I labeled it side number 1, just so that I know on my elevation drawings which side is which. So to start my elevation drawing, I first want to line up my graph paper. I don't know if you can see this or not on the video, but some graph paper doesn't line up perfectly, like this graph paper doesn't. So if I have this graph paper corner to corner, the lines don't line up to each other. So I want to make them line up to each other, even if the paper looks off center, because I want the lines to be where they're supposed to be. So the first thing I do when I do my elevation drawings is I just do the corners. So I'm going to come down from this corner of the wall, and I'm going to make the corner on here. And I'm going to do it a couple blocks away from the edge like we did with our floor plans. I can go ahead and label this side 1 a while. So I did that corner, now I'm going to go over and do this one, and I did this one, let's see, 1, 2, 3 blocks down. So I'm going to do this corner the same way, make sure I have my paper lined up. So it's this one, 1, 2, 3. And then I always, just to double check, I always count the blocks from one corner to the other, just to make sure, because, you know, sometimes papers get folded like this one is, and they're not lined up perfectly. So I always count the blocks from this corner to this corner, and then make sure that I have the correct amount between these two corners, because if it's off just a little bit, it's going to totally throw your model off. So once I have my 2 dots drawn, I use my straight edge like we do with every single line. We never draw a line without our straight edge. I'm going to connect those 2 lines. And I'll try to get it perfectly right on the graph paper. And I'm going to draw light but not too light, just like we did with our floor plans. And then obviously our floor plans don't show how high the walls are. Whereas the elevation, this is to show how high the walls are. So if we're looking at it, the floor plan is looking from top down. So this is going to be the floor. And then the elevation is basically going to be the wall standing up right here. So the elevation is showing how high the walls are. And that's not something you're going to be able to determine yourself, because we have a requirement of 9 block high or 9 foot high walls, no matter what. So I can go ahead and count 9 blocks. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to make a dot there. And then I'm also just going to count another 9, because my first floor and my second floor line up perfectly. So my first floor is going to be right on top, or I'm sorry, right on bottom of my second floor. I don't have any different sized floor plans. I don't have any walls or floors that hang over other ones. So all of my elevations are just going to be first floor, second floor. So I can go ahead and do my second floor. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if you do have walls, or if your first and second floor don't totally line up, then you're going to have to do a different elevation drawing for each floor. So if that's the case, let's say if your first floor is this big, and let's say your second floor is only this big, then you're going to have to do just this elevation, and then maybe on the bottom of this paper you'll do the second floor elevation. Me, however, my first floor and my second floor totally line up. It's just a plain rectangular house, so I can do them one on top of another. And I'm going to go over here and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to make a dot there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm going to connect the dots again with the straight edge. And you don't need to really connect the dot here. I'm sorry, yeah, connect the dots. You can just do like a a dotted line is fine, because that's not going to be cut in our model drawings. You just want to know that that's separating your first and second floor. Okay. And then you can do your sides, you can connect them here as well.
You can pause it.
So once you have the outline drawn of all of your walls, then you can think about where you want the windows and the doors, because you also absolutely have to draw your windows and doors on your elevation drawings. And don't forget that your elevation drawings are going to be what you actually cut out and what the stencils you use to cut out your walls for your actual model of foam board. So once you do the outlines, we're going to have to do the doors and windows. So this is where you'll have to line everything up really, really precisely. So this up here, I'm going to call my first floor, and this is my second floor. So I'm going to flip this over just because it's easier for me to work. You can choose to do whatever you want. And I'm going to line this up so that I can see where my windows and my doors are right here. So once it's lined up, then I'm going to come and just do the outlines of my windows. There's one there, and there's one here. My doors are here. And there's all my cats coming into the video. And my last window is there. This is Theo. Go ahead, go away. So on our floor plan, we have already established how wide we want our doors and our windows to be. The elevation drawing is where you get to determine how high and how tall you want everything to be. So that's totally up to you. Obviously, our doors, we do have a minimum requirement of 7 feet tall, but if you want to go taller, you certainly can. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my door because that's easy. I'm going to make mine 7, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just going to make a dot there. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to make a dot there, and then you can go ahead and draw your lines. And I'm going to draw the middle, because these are French doors, so they're 2 doors that open swinging. And then we can do our windows. Now, most people don't have windows starting from the ground. So, I mean, if you want windows starting from the very bottom of your floor, you can certainly have those. I don't on mine. That's not what I intended for my design. So I'm going to start my windows probably right about here. So I'm going to just make dots there. I'm going to make dots there. And then, of course, I'm going to use my white eraser. Even though my pencil has a white eraser, I may not use that. Only use the white erasers from the architecture drawer. Of course, I have to touch this up with my straight edge. Okay. And then you can decide how tall you want your windows. I'm going to have mine come up to where the door is, because I like having everything lined up. You can do whatever you would like. There's no requirements for how tall you have to have the windows, so whatever you'd like for that. And then I'm going to use my straight edge to connect all the dots again. And I know it's annoying and it takes a lot of time to use the straight edge, but it makes it look much, much neater. And this is a project where you really can't be in a rush, and you really need to take your time and be patient with everything. It's going to look much, much nicer, not only on your drawings, but on your model, which is even more important. So there I am totally finished with my first floor, and now what I would do is get my second floor floor plan and do this exact same wall, make sure that it's the same wall, and I would just do the same process up here. And that is it for our elevations, but if you have any questions at all, please let me know.